So this video is about my formative assessment strategy research. I only did 3 formative assessment strategies because my other 2 hours are going to come from scoring the posters for first class. But the first one that I picked was the find someone who. It comes from the collaborative portion of the formative assessments that we learned about. I really love this one. It attracts me a lot. I've actually done this as a student as well, and I feel that this is just something great for kinesthetic learners and for students that like to move and do things. This one is where you go around and you find someone else that can teach you how to do it, or find someone else that can answer the question. I really like how this one has a social aspect as well. You can do this just for social acceptance or practice, talking to other people, and you can also do it for academic purposes as well. I don't think I would use it after a lesson, but I would use it as a review for a test coming up. You can, but personally that's where I think it fits best. Something that I liked about this is that I remember a fact that says what you teach most of the time is the best thing for you to do to learn it when you teach somebody else. And so I think this model really fits that. My second informative assessment strategy was quick write, quick draw. I've also done this as a student. I feel that this is a great one to use and can be a quicker one than the find someone who. This is more for your visual learners. You have writing and drawing, which creates diversity. You might have some students who like to write better, linguistic, versus people who are more artistic and they like to draw. Kind of the left side, right side type brain. It's usually, I saw an example with a face and one side was blank and the other side had lines for them to do both options. I think that elementary students really benefit from this because sometimes they can't express themselves as well as they want to, and so a picture will do the same as writing in that case. They can also connect an image to words, which for me, when I'm studying, sometimes if I can't have an image I connect to it, it helps me to remember it better. So my last formative assessment strategy was my top 10 list. It was my least favorite of the 3. It's on the list, charts, and graphic organizer side of the 4 formative assessment categories. This is more for your mathematical type learners, which isn't me, so I feel like that's why I don't like this one as much. I feel like this would be really hard to do right after a lesson. You find top 10 main ideas, and I think that it can take a while, so it might be better or best to do it as a review. I don't think this is something you want to use constantly. This would be something to use more periodically. I think this one though is great for tiering. You can tier down by giving the students some examples that they can put in there. You can tier up by having the students actually organize their list into the top 10 things in order of importance. We also did this one in class. I think that I put an example of using after reading. You can use it after reading a book and talk about the main events of the story. But those are the 3 formative assessment strategies that I chose, and I do think that you can and will use these in my classroom.